This video is sponsored by Alcid eHomes, whose mission it is to accelerate the advent of sustainable, healthy living systems around the world. Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So we have been hearing about demand problem, Tesla killers, competition, Tesla deliveries has flatlined, Elon is a fraud. But we do have a lot of data that we can look back on now and see how wrong the Tesla bears have been. And we can take a look at what is going on right now this year so far and what we expect for the rest of the year and where that will leave us in 2022, 2023, because we do have the facts and data to show where Tesla has been, showing Tesla's projection, so we can make an educated guess on where this is going. And my prediction, as you know, are very bullish. But when you look at the facts, how can you not be? So let's take a look at some of these facts and see just how explosive Tesla's future is going to be, because this is insane. If you're still a Tesla bear after watching this, you should probably go see a doctor or something, because you have to be insane to bet against Tesla. So let's dive right in. So Tesla has been making waves since they started producing electric cars back in 2008. Bears and short sellers did say that the Roadster would never be built, but it did. The Tesla Model S would never be built, but it did. The Tesla Model 3 would never be built, but it did. And the Tesla Model 3 was the last step of Tesla's first master plan, a mass-produced electric car. Yes, it's not a very affordable car, but it's still a mass market car. Just look at the facts. It is one of the best selling cars, not just electric, because it is the most sold electric car in history, but also just as any other car you would look at, you would compare it to another car in the same segment. And the Tesla Model 3 or the new Model Y has been one of the best selling luxury mid-size sedan or SUVs in many countries that they are in. Because remember, when we are comparing the electric Model 3 or Y to other ICE cars, we have to remember that Tesla is not in every country yet. They are only in about 40 countries, so they still have a long way to go. But it's already shown that the Tesla Model 3 is one of the best selling cars, and the Tesla Model Y's curve is even steeper. But if we look 3 years back when Tesla started production of the Model 3, well, they did start in 2017, but did not sell a lot of them in 2017 because they went through production hell and continued through production hell the first half of 2018, but still managed to grow its business with 20 and 85% in Q1 and Q2 of 2018. And Tesla almost went bankrupt getting the Model 3 up and running. But they didn't, and Ford and Tesla are actually now the two only American car companies that have never gone bankrupt. Yes, GM has, and so have thousands of others through the last 100 years. But when they finally fixed the production hell and got the Model 3 going, we saw Tesla sales explode in Q3 and Q4 of 2018, up over 200% in both quarters. But then Tesla started building a factory in China. Firstly, many bears said that would never happen, but it did, and it would definitely not be done in only 1 year. But it did. But Tesla built the Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai during 2019, while they were ramping up Model 3 production in the Fremont factory, and Tesla ended the year with over 50% growth in deliveries. And then came 2020, a crazy year for all of us, and double crazy for Tesla, because they have to start ramping up a whole new factory in China, and they also needed to start a whole new production line in Fremont for the Model Y. And it's always difficult to start a new product, but two at the same time, and one of them in a totally new factory, and then the pandemic hit on top of that, shutting down Tesla's factory for a combined 7 weeks, just as they were supposed to ramp up. Despite all of that, and that the whole car industry fell off a cliff because of the pandemic, Tesla did manage to only go down less than 5% in Q2 2020. Very impressive. But even more so, while the rest of the car industry kept falling, Tesla grew 43 and 61% in Q3 and Q4 of 2020. And reached their target of 500,000 cars, set back in 2014. And do you remember what Tesla short seller said back in 2014? Like this article from 2014, and yes, that is Mr. BS, Mark B. Spiegel, that wrote, "The sell side is forecasting that Tesla will sell 500,000 cars in 2020. If Tesla sells 35,000 cars this year, 2014, 500,000 sales in 2020 would imply a 6-year compound annual growth rate of 56%. No complex product manufacturer has ever grown that quickly from a revenue base of $3 billion or more." Yes, that is correct, Mr. BS. But that was exactly what happened. Tesla has had a 56% compound annual growth rate. Yes, that is very fast. But as we can see, Tesla is actually speeding up, because we know that the Shanghai factory has been ramping up their Model 3 and now also their Model Y. Still room for improvements, but they are producing cars like crazy. Q1 2021 did not just get a 56% increase. No, it went up 108% year over year. And the Chinese investment bank expect Tesla Giga Shanghai to deliver 107,000 units in Q2 from Gigafactory 3. And since SICC study is based on data from suppliers, there is very good reason to believe that the number of Tesla cars made in China can actually reach such high rates. So that would mean that Tesla would get over 200,000 cars delivered in Q2, maybe 210,000. That would be a 131% increase. And I can't see why Tesla can't continue this great trend for the rest of the year, with Gigafactory 3 still ramping up and Fremont getting a new production line put up under these tents. They're not actually tents, but look like tents, as we have seen Tesla do successfully before. But as we had in 2020, a new factory was coming online that really start kicking up production in the second half of the year. Now we have 2 new factories coming online by the second half of this year that will probably really kick off production again, probably in the second half of next year. In 2020, it was just 1 factory. Even with the shutdown and the pandemic, they still managed to grow about 52% in the second half of 2020. So what would you expect from the second half of 2022? When Tesla brings online 2 new factories, that will be even more efficient because of the way that the next generation Model Y will be built. It is of course all new technology, but Tesla has been testing this out in both the Gigafactory Shanghai and the Fremont factory. But it will probably still take a bit of time to fully ramp up. That is why I'm saying the second half of 2022 that it will really start to kick off. But 2 new factories instead of 1. This will boost Tesla's growth like crazy. Tesla could easily grow 100% again in Q3 and Q4 of 2022. Maybe even Q1 and Q2 as well, with twice as many factories than they have today. And as you can see, even though they grew 108% in Q1, they still sell every single car they make. Tesla has absolutely no demand problem. And just for fun, if Tesla only makes 56% annual growth rate every year going forward to 2030, well, as you can see, 20 million is a very low target, probably only held back by batteries. And Tesla will be done building these 2 factories this year. So what is stopping Tesla from starting producing 2 new factories or maybe even 3 new factories next year? That will start production of their much more affordable Model 2 or whatever it's going to be called. That will open Tesla up to a much bigger market than they are in today. So I can't really see why Tesla should not be able to keep up this crazy growth story that they have been showing us for the last 5 years, and the projection is looking really good. I would not want to bet against this company that has changed the whole car industry with disruptive technology, and Tesla has only just begun. Because just look at someone like David Einhorn that did bet against Tesla, so had over $8 billion under management in 2015 and then started betting against Tesla and lost almost all his money and now has only $1.5 billion under management. Ouch. Yeah, don't bet against Elon Musk. For people still to doubt this man just because he made a 420 tweet or has been delayed a couple of times. But this man is running the first successful car company in the US since Ford and is only selling electric cars and has pushed the whole car industry to go electric and have the best performing electric cars in the world, and has been the chief rocket engineer in his private rocket company that has made reusable rockets flying more cargo to space than the rest of the world combined. Sure, you can bet against this man if you want to, but so far he has done nothing but prove everybody wrong that did. And sure, Tesla does have a very high valuation, but we have to remember that the stock market is a betting machine. You invest in the companies that you bet are going to grow and bring you more money. But Tesla only made 500,000 cars in 2020 and Volkswagen produced 9 million cars. Yes, but as I said, it's a betting machine for the future, not now. And 98% of all those 9 million cars were ICE cars. That is not an asset for the future. That is only a problem they have to get rid of. So all those 8.8 million ICE vehicles they produced last year are, in my opinion, worth absolutely nothing. Sure, they are bringing them profits right now, but they will be worthless in 10 years' time. And Ford will probably not deliver more than 50,000 EVs here in 2021, so in my opinion, that is how big Ford is. 50,000 cars. Because all of the millions of ICE cars they make are a problem they need to get rid of, not an asset. The only thing that matters long term in the car industry is how many electric vehicles you can make. And nobody believed Tesla back in 2014 when Tesla said 500,000 in 2020. That was absurd. But that was exactly what happened. And now we have a little déjà vu when Tesla says their target is 20 million cars in 2030. That is absurd. But my bet is that is exactly what will happen. So yes, just as a car company, they will probably be twice the size in 2030 than Volkswagen has ever been. That is my guess anyway, looking back at the facts, seeing what Tesla is doing right now, and watching the projection of Tesla's sales. And my bet is the one of the old OEMs that will survive this very difficult switch will become much smaller car companies. So Tesla is the one to bet on if you want your money to grow, because Tesla will grow. Unlike most other old OEMs, they will all shrink. So of course my bet is on the company which projections of their business look like this. Not on the companies whose projections look like this. One is only going up and faster, and the other one has only been going down for the last 5 years. And their new great EV that just came onto the market, its projection is also only going down in their home country. That's not good. And they have not even really begun the big switch to EVs yet, and they are already down 2.5 million cars in sales over the last 5 years. Man, if this had been Tesla that had this chart, they would have been roasted alive in the mainstream media. So if Ford's trend here continues, maybe Tesla will be the only US car company that has never filed for bankruptcy. Also because this was just their car business we're talking about. They will also solve full self-driving with their real-world AI vision, if you ask me, and that will be worth billions, if not trillions. And they are a big player in the future energy storage solution, both with big batteries and software, which is also growing growing as well, and they're growing their insurance business, and they will probably even earn money on training AI systems with their Dojo supercomputer, the most powerful AI training computer in the world. And their charging network is growing faster than anyone else, and will probably also become open to other EVs in the future and earn Tesla a lot of money. Sure, the last part here is of course just pure speculation on all the other businesses Tesla is in, but if all this comes true, like we have seen everything else Tesla has said they would do come true, well then Tesla's valuation has just begun. As I said, the stock market is a betting machine. So what is your bet? Do you think they will sell 1 million cars this year? Will they sell 20 million cars in 2030? Let me know where you will place your bet. My bet is on Tesla. They have done nothing but deliver, maybe not always on time, but they always deliver. And they have set everything in motion to grow as fast as possible, including making sure they will be able to get their hands on the most batteries, also making their own batteries, the 4680, and that is going to be key. If you don't have the batteries, you will not be a big player in the EV marketplace. This single key factor alone should make Tesla the absolute most obvious bet. So far, the bulls have been right, and the bears have been wrong. But time will tell if this will change. But
Computer says no.
and thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.